All right, today I want to go through all the forwards. We're going to do 3 videos of this. We're going to do forwards, defensemen, and goalies. So what I want to do, at least for the forwards and defensemen, we'll see about goalies. I'm going to go through the top 25 players, and I want to see if they are worth their contract. And if I get too excited about some other contract, maybe we'll go to 350. We'll see. Just looking at some of their stats and everything, their cap hit, kind of what makes sense, and some things that are interesting to me. So, and this is going to be very points based because a lot of these guys are playing on top lines, right? So they're the ones that need to produce. They absolutely need to produce because they get paid to produce. So let's go through the quick ones. I mean, it's funny because I'm just like, these are silly. Like, how are you getting over 1.5 a game? Look at this. Nathan MacKinnon, 91 points already. Like, so stupid. I mean, 56 games, by the way. And look at Connor McDavid, 10 points behind at the same pace with less games. It is crazy. These guys, to me, McDavid and McKinnon, like, I've always underestimated McKinnon. I actually didn't think he was worth the $12.6 million cap hit that he had over here. And I was like, oh, of course, like, he just won a Stanley Cup, though. So maybe that's it. I'll be honest, I completely underestimated Nathan MacKinnon. I knew he was good. I knew he was very good, probably top 5, right? But to me, like, I was thinking Draisaitl seems a little bit better, you know? Like, I didn't know your game, man. I didn't know what you had. And so I'm very impressed. And from what I've been heard some people online talking about Nathan MacKinnon, saying that Connor McDavid is the better player, offensive player. But Nathan MacKinnon is a better overall player as like a two-way player. And that's what I've been told. Based on the plus minus right here, I'm not seeing it, right? You know, but again, plus minus not the end all be all stat, right? We have all these special analytics nowadays, right? But it is something that is still taken into consideration. So it just take it into mind. Because it's one of those, if it's really good or really bad, there is something to say there, right? So moving on, Panarin. And Panarin is, I mean, this contract has worked out really well since moving over to the Rangers. 74 points, 55 games. I think he's actually in a lower pace than he was last year, which is crazy. Like I said, shooting 16% right here is amazing. I mean, you just, like, it's great. And he's only playing 20 minutes a night, but, like, this contract is getting better and better after every year. And so I think the Rangers are pretty happy with it, and they're doing okay right now. They're starting to slip in the standings, so they need him to continue the production, maybe even up it up a little bit, right? And then we go to Matthews. I mean, you're getting for a little over $11.5 million. You're getting 48 goals in 52 games. Like, he's going to be he honestly is on a 70 goal pace, like, which is to me wild. Like, if you're a Toronto fan, like, he's your Lord and Savior. He's your Austin Jesus Christ. Like, I know I'm trying to think of like Connor McJesus, as they call him, right? And I'm trying to think of something like, I don't know, like Crouton Austin. I don't know. I'll think of something fun. Like, we gotta think something like godlike, because he is killing it, man. Honestly, probably one of the best goal scorers since. Probably best goal scorer since Ovechkin, and we have a pretty good idea of Ovechkin's going to be beating Wayne Gretzky's title, goals title, by the way, not his scoring title, just the goals title. And so, honestly, Austin Matthews had the opportunity to potentially beat that, which would be wild. I'm so excited to see it. I'm so excited to be alive for this. It's going to be very exciting. Now, mind you, he has to be available. He has to be healthy. So, cross our fingers. Moving on. Pastrnak, this is a new contract he just got. I think it was last year. 78 points, 55 games. Yeah, Boston's happy. Boston, you were supposed to be bad, and you signed this monster deal, and you're like, oh my God, now they're going to give up now, right? Because he's going to take the bag now. And they're going to be bad. And you got a captain now, a different captain. So, and they're good still. They're so good still. It is very frustrating, but definitely worth the money. Tavares looking at $11 million. I thought that was rich when he signed it. I knew Tavares was good. So to me, when you're signing a free agent, like, I understand this is going to be a little more expensive. He's the first overall draft pick. He's very good. He's Mr. Consistent, right? He's not producing like he should be. He's only shooting at 8%, which is not high enough to me. Like, I think shooting average is around like 11 to 13%, somewhere it sits between there. So he needs to shoot more so that he can get some more goals. I mean, get some for some production. If he's doing 40 points, 51 games, but at $11 million, you need a point per game kind of guy. Like it's to me, if you're making double digits, you need in the millions, you need point per game player. Like there's no questions asked. You're on the second line, man. I know you're playing behind Austin Matthews, but you're still on the power play. Like you're on power play 1. Like get yourself together. And so to me, this is one where I think it's only here for the rest of this year and next year, and then I think he'll take a sweetheart deal. To me, I thought it was too much when they signed it, and so I think I think he'll take like a $6 or $7 million a year, take a haircut, just be able to play with the team and continue to try and win a Stanley Cup in his hometown. So we'll see. Mitch Marner, I think he's properly being paid. So to me, everyone is underpaid from Pasternak up, honestly. Underpaid. Honestly, I think they would pay him more if there wasn't a salary cap. To me, Mitch Marner's properly paid right now. I think he's kind of fallen off here. He's got a good shooting percentage at 17%. Austin Matthews shooting at a 21%. Crazy, dude. It's stupid. But to me, properly, I'm not sure if he stays with Toronto. Of course, his no movement clause is now in play, so we'll see what happens there. But to me, I think they should move on from him and get the assets they can. I think it just makes sense. And just focus on Willie and Austin Matthews. And then, of course, Morgan Riley, who signed long-term, too. Jack Eichel. Moving on to $10 million. Is it $10 million? $10 million player. Oh, nope. We skipped one. Huberdeau. I mean, one of the worst contracts in the league, right? I mean, we're all on the same page here, right? No one's thinking that this is a good deal. I thought it was overpayment when they didn't before, right? To me, I would have. I mean, I understand you traded for him. You showed you liked him, but to me, like, I have a hard time with a guy who comes off of that contract or that awesome season and just doesn't perform. Mind you, I have a hard time. I need more proof than 1 year. Like, to me, I just needed more. And to me, I just didn't trust that contract when it was signed. And he just needs to. I mean, everyone. I don't need to say it. Like to me, they should be building Calgary around Huberdeau, and you need to like bring in whoever you need to. Right. See if Johnny Gaudreau wants to come back or something like that. Like, you just need to find a way to get any support around him. Right. Bring in guys just for PP1 and surround it with Huberdeau and like Kadri and make sure they fluff up that contract and make him look good. I think this is one of the reasons that they're going to sell, and I'm so happy they're going to be selling because they need to. So we'll see. So moving on, we have Jack Eichel, number 9 on the list and number 9 on the team. 44 points in 42 games. I think you'd like to see a little more production out of him. I think that Jack Eichel is capable too. I think, again, if you're a double digit, you should be playing a point per game. And you're teetering. He's performing, so maybe he's just right. But to me, I want to see a little more oomph. So like I think that they probably could play him a little more, 20 minutes. I mean, some of these guys like McKinnon's playing 23 a night, but I don't know how effective he is if he's playing penalty kill or anything like that. So, but I guess he's properly rated at this point. His contract's looking just fine. So, Anze Kopitar, I mean, he's 35, making $10 million. I think this is his last year on this contract too. So I'm not too mad about it. I mean, let's check. I'm curious now because I think because to me that would make the most sense. He's probably he's in the last year of his contract. So I mean, he'll probably end up either retiring or taking another shorter deal. So I think this works out in the Los Angeles favor. I think they're going to get a lot of good money back. So I'm not mad about this. I mean, you want to perform, right? Like you want at 0.85 points per game. Like, it's not enough, but he is 35, right? So I think you end up saving the cap. Maybe you want to resign him for like I don't know. What do you get for Kopitar? A guy that's putting up that much. I mean, I'd sign him for $5 or $6 million for like 2 years. Let's say that's easy. That's variable and that's buyoutable. Like, not a big deal. Barkov, the supposedly most underrated player in the league. If you ask a lot of NHL players, they all say Barkov. But to me, 1.1 points per game, 54 points, 49 games. That's great. At 47, probably his peak. And I don't think that Panthers fans are mad about that, especially because he is making that 10 million. He's our last double-digit millions player, and then we kind of start to trickle down here. So I think they're happy with that. I think the Florida Panthers are doing phenomenal. So I mean, kudos to them. So moving on, we're going on to Tyler Seguin, one of my favorite players too. I think this is kind of like he's not playing high enough in the lineup anymore. He's only playing 16-30 right now. I mean, comparison to a lot of these guys, I mean, the only one that are lower you see is Jonathan Huberdeau and John Tavares. But for Seguin playing 16 and a half is kind of crazy to me. And still getting 45 points, 55 games. I like it. He's shooting pretty high at a 17% shooting percentage. So I think he's been playing a lot of second and third line though. So he's buried in the lineup. He's a very expensive player, but I think he's performing his role right now. Again, a little pricier than you want to be, so he probably overpaid at this point. But hopefully he can continue to get that development because Matt Duchene is doing phenomenal on that team. So hopefully they can keep him. Johnny Gaudreau. I mean, is Columbus doing bad because Johnny Gaudreau is doing bad, or is Johnny Gaudreau doing bad because Columbus is doing bad? I think it's a little bit of both. 37 points in 53 games, just not enough. 0.7 points per game. And he got his big money contract at a negative 20 as well. And so, to me, he's undershooting too at a 7% shooting percentage. So, you again, similar to Huberdeau, ironically, there's a guy who leaves, what's it called? It's a guy who leaves Calgary to go to Florida. Matt Tkachuk does phenomenal. Who is on the list at 19? Leaves to Florida, does a phenomenal job. I mean, he's at 64 points in 55 games. I mean, he's doing great. And then you have a guy like Johnny Gaudreau who's just struggling, and it's just a bummer. And now you have Lindholm who's doing fairly well in Vancouver. Hopefully he gets paid. It's crazy how that line just differs in different spots. How they're all gone, by the way. That line that had 300-point scorers, all gone from Calgary. It's crazy to me. At least they got something for Tkachuk, by the way, which Huberdeau is not working out really well, but we'll see. It's okay. We'll see. Hopefully he bounces back. I think he can. It's just you need to surround him with the right guys, right? So moving on, Jamie Benn, 30 points, 55 games. Again, another guy overpaid. Only playing 15 minutes a night, and probably that third. He's on like that second and third line, and he's not like a defensive guy either. But to me, like again, overpaid. I mean, there's two guys that are overpaid, a little older as well. So hopefully, I'm curious, when does his contract go up? Because that would be another interesting one where I think Stars can get a lot of value out of not re-signing him. They got one more year with him. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it does have no movement clause as well, which is the bummer. So hopefully they can hopefully not this year, but next year. They either let him come back for a cheaper deal, or let him move on somewhere else, try and get a cup somewhere else. But I think Dallas, the way they're set up, they could pay Robertson afterwards, and they could pay Ottinger a little more afterwards. But I know they did not want to pay them a lot because of the Jamie, Benn, and Seguin contracts. So let's see how this works out for them. It's working out for Dallas really well right now, top of the Central. So Vegas Golden Knights, Mark Stone, 52 points, 54 games, playing well, 9.5. I mean, he's at that under a point per game, similar to Jack Eichel, about $500,000 a year less. But again, he's playing well. I mean, and he's a winger, by the way, too, right? So you expect less. You expect differently of your wingers than you do your centers. So I guess going back to Eichel, I guess I think he's being paid fair at this point. So Ovechkin getting hot again, right? Starting to get on the come up. Again, the Washington Capitals are not playing that well. He's 37 years old, slowing down, but his goal streak has started to come up a little bit since he started scoring. But he's Alexander Ovechkin. I mean, come on, like they're just really just pumping him up to try and get him his goals. So cap hit's not relevant. They're not even trying to make the playoffs at this rate. So Braden Point, Tampa Bay, $9.5 million. I thought that was an overpay. To me, I thought he was always going to be like a 3C, maybe a 2C. playing at 1C, getting a point per game player, playing well, playing hard minutes at the -14. So, he's playing on the penalty kill. He's playing on the power play. Like, he's playing tough minutes and shooting 18% too, which is crazy. 27 goals. I mean, I think this is exactly where you want him to be. It's great. I mean, it's a good value contract. Again, focusing him on center, it makes sense. So, Kucherov. I mean, you're getting the most. I mean, you're getting phenomenal value from this contract. 9.5 for 1.7 points per game. It is crazy. He's leading 94 points. Look, we had McKinnon at 91, and Kucherov's at 9. Look at all these guys between them. Like, you're getting complete value out of Nikita Kucherov at 94. Like, phenomenal value. He's 15%. It's pretty good. Pretty high, but not too crazy high, right? Shooting percentage. So I think I love this, right? Moving on to Matthew Tkachuk. So we are 6 away from the bottom. We're at number 19. Matthew Tkachuk signed this $9.5 million deal, 8 years, right? He signed it. It was his first sign and trade, I think. Or maybe Damon Severson was from the New Jersey Devils to the Columbus Blue Jackets. But either way, 64 points, 55 games. I mean, great rate. And a good plus minus too. He's playing well, so I mean he knows his spots. He's playing well. I think Florida's hot right now, so I think they're loving this contract completely. So Mika Rantanen, 70 points in 56 games, 1.25 goals per game, points per game. Yeah, I could use 5 points every 4 games. That's great. Playing hard minutes, 23 minutes, similar to Nathan McKinnon. I mean, good value. Actually, no, not good. Great value. He's making less than Matthew Tkachuk with more points. Crazy, man. Backstrom out. This is LTIR, so we can really skip it. I mean, it's tough that he didn't make it from his back surgery, but all the best to Backstrom in his retirement. Matt Barzal, 22 with the Islanders, making $9.15 million. Playing well. That is very good production for a Islander, in my opinion. 57 points, 53 games. For an Islander, that is phenomenal. I obsessed with this. Great. All about it. No notes. No notes at all. Very happy with that. Especially Islanders are usually low scoring, and they had a coaching change this year, and he's still producing that well. It would be a disservice to the Islanders. It would be a disservice, not the Islanders. It'd be a disservice to Matt Barzal if they didn't try a little hard to make the playoffs. I don't think they will, but that's me. So, Jeff Skinner, one of those players that missed it. Kirill Kaprizov, 51 points, 47 games, just trying to drag this team to the playoffs. I mean, mind you, I'm looking at this after a hat trick though. So I mean, he had one game. I don't know how many points he had in the game, but he just did it was a 10 to. Oh, my bad. It was a 10-7 game versus was it Nashville? I don't remember who it was. It was Minnesota. Anyway, Minnesota had 10 goals. I mean, it was brutal. The way they, God, why can't I think who it is now? I gotta find out. Give me 1 second. It was Vancouver. I completely forgot they left Demko in there to dry, which is crazy. It was Smith. It was Smith. That's why. Look at this, 7 goals in the third period. I mean, come on. I know Kaprizov is good, but 10 goals is astronomical. So. Wild. I mean, great value. And I think they're betting the farm on him and making sure that he's happy with the team. Especially, I think he's happy with the $9 million though, so I mean he's not complaining there. So, 24, Jeff Skinner. No, he's not playing up to his contract. We all this is Jeff Skinner's one of those contracts that's been talked about for a while. Not very good value. Some notable ones are the Skinner, the Erik Karlsson, now the Huberdeau. Seth Jones, Darnell Nurse. These are some of the bigger contracts that they don't feel like those guys are filling out or hitting the heights that they think they should be. So, and Jeff Skinner he's getting paid too much for what he's bringing. He had a great season last season, but just not putting out like he was last season, and that's just the reality of the contract. We kind of knew this, unfortunately. It's just a bad contract. So, and then speaking of a recently signed bad contract, Timo Meier 25, which is where we'll stop at this point because I've been rambling for long enough. 22 points in 41 games, similar to the Gaudreau situation. Is Laine playing bad because of Columbus, or is Columbus playing bad because of Laine? Yes and no. And we also know that Patrick Laine also entered the player assistance program for mental health issues. And if you haven't donated, I'll put his link in the description. 26. Oh, we were past. We were going to go to 25. 26. But I want to talk about Patrick Laine anyways. No. Okay. Sorry. I'm talking about Patrick Laine. I'll do Patrick Laine real quick, and then we'll fit it. We'll do Timo Meier. And then we'll do Patrick Laine because I want to talk about Patrick Laine real quick. Talking about Timo Meier, 41 games, 22 points, not playing it up to it. This is not looking good for a new contract. Thankfully, there's no clause on it right now, but 8.8 is not great. And so I think he just needs to shake up, put him on the top line with Jack Hughes, maybe give him a little confidence boost, something like that. Maybe then you can set him down lower in the lineup. So lastly, I want to talk about Patrick Laine because he entered the player assistance program for mental health. And I think and so I ended up donating $29 to the cause. Nasher's talked about it as well, and I just wanted to put this out there. The link will be in the description of the video, and you can donate. Please donate. Johnny Gaudreau has mentioned he's going to donate $1,000 for every point he scored this year. So right now, at this point, Johnny Gaudreau will be donating $37,000 to the Foundation for Mental Health and Men. And please, if you have anything to donate, $1, $2, $3, $5, $10, $100, please do, and I really appreciate it. So, anyways, this is our top 25 of forwards, and are their value of their contracts looking great? Let me know if you want me to do a part 2, doing 27 through 50, which does include one of my favorite players that is currently playing, Dylan Larkin. Hey, right here at 28. So give me a reason to make the video. All right, anyways, love you. Hit like, subscribe, comment, and catch you soon.